Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a good one so far. So what I want to talk about today, it's about the law of averages at work. So what do I mean by that? It's the average of people doing things when it comes to our business. So if anyone knows about the law of averages, can you just have a show of hands on the Zoom or not? Anyone? Okay, Mr. Bo. Anybody else? Okay, so if we understand how this business work, we know that this is a numbers business. In any business whatsoever, if you want to win when it comes to the money game, you have to understand what are your numbers, right? So in this case, the numbers that we have in our particular business is the numbers that we have to go through in order to recruit someone and the numbers we have to go through in order to write business. So those numbers for us, right? If we were to do about, I believe, 400 interviews, we will have about 100 new prospects and 100 people that we are going to have as people who join our business. We are going to have 50 licensed people. And out of those 50 licensed people, we will have one vice president and what? 25 RVPs will give you one strong builder. So the reason why I'm using these numbers is these are the numbers that our founder, Art Williams, went through in order to build our actual company. So the numbers are the numbers. The numbers are not going to change. So the numbers are, when it comes to recruiting, we know that is 10 4 1. So 10 means simply you speaking to 10 different people, setting appointments with them, and then 4 of them in today's day and age to join in your Zoom. And then once those 4 people join your Zoom, what you're doing is you're talking to 4 people. Depending on what your ratio is, your ratio might not be 10 4 1. It might be 10 4 3, 10 4 4, 10 4 2. I don't know what your ratio is, but what we need to really focus on is falling in love with what is our average, what are our numbers, right? How many people do we need to talk to get a certain number of appointments set? How many people do we need to talk to once we set those appointments on Zoom to turn them into people who will join you? How many people do we need to talk to once they join you to make sure that we follow through and those people get licensed? So we have to understand those numbers. So those are the simple numbers I want to go over today. So I want everyone on this call to understand what are your numbers. It might be people that you're prospecting. It might be people that you talking to, people that you know, people that you met on social media. It doesn't matter what it is, but you have to know your conversion ratio. Everybody's conversion, the conversion ratio of the company is there, but your conversion ratio might be lower or your conversion ratio might be higher. The only way you can improve in those things is by understanding what exactly are my numbers? How many people do I need to talk to be able to set this many appointments? How many people do I need to talk to be able to turn them into new associates, meaning people who will come start working with me? How many people do I need to start working with and I can influence them not only to train them, but also to make sure that they get licensed? And once they are licensed, how many of the licenses that I have are playing? And out of those people that are playing, who are the 20%ers, who are the 80%ers? Because what we know is out of your licenses, 80% of them are going to do a little bit, and then 20% are going to do a whole lot, right? So if you have 4 licenses, your 20% is 1 license. The odds are not in your favor. If you have 40 licenses, your 20% is what? Sorry, 25% will be 1%. But if you have 40 licenses, your 20% will be 8. So in this case, you have 8 players, people on your team who you know you can count on, people on your team that you know when push comes to shove, they are going to deliver, they are going to show up. These are people that are going to work their butt off, do whatever it needs to do whatever it takes. If they have a goal, they're going to go for that goal. If they say, hey, coach, Chris, you can count on me. I know you said we were going to do 20 by 20 as a team this month. You said we're going to do 30 by 30 this month. I'm going to come up with 5 by 5. I'm going to come up with 10 by 10. And they know that, that this person is going to do exactly what they said they were going to do, because this is a person who is what? A producer. This is a person who follow through with what they say they're going to follow through. The 32 is going to do, 1,000 here, 1,000 there. And then the combination of all those people plus your 20% is going to give you the numbers that you need to have. So this only simply tells you is we need to follow through with increasing our numbers. There is a word that coach used last week. He said the problem we are having is volume. So the reason why I want to go over this is because he's right. The problem we are having is volume, right? So meaning that the more people we have on this Zoom, the more results we are going to have. If you have one person only showing up on the Zoom for you the whole week, the odds of you having that person join you and start working with you and getting licensed are very low. But if you have 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people watching the video, 100 people watching the video every week, 50 people clicking on your link, 100 people clicking on your link, the average of those numbers at the end of the day, the number of people that are going to click on the link, that are going to convert people that you're going to meet with on Zoom, that are going to become your new associate, is going to be way higher than you having just one person clicking on the link and watching the video, and you praying to God that that person becomes your number one person, that person you become your 20%ers, right? So you're kidding yourself. So what you have to do is really, really focus on the law of, the law of large numbers, meaning you have to understand, okay, these are the numbers that I need to work on, no matter what. I believe coach mentioned something about it, it doesn't matter how bad you are. If you talk to, 10 people a day, I don't remember what the numbers were, 3,650, right? For the year, you're going to at least recruit 1% of them. 1% of them is 36 people. So 36 people for the year, divided by 12, you are going to recruit on average directly 3 people. And then those 3 people that you're going to have as recruit, they're going to help you recruit the next, because your goal is really to double digit with the people that you recruit. So if you recruit 3 personal people, you need to go and recruit 3 for those people, right? You need to go get 3 gets 3 gets 3 gets 3. Not only that, you're going to have 3 directs, but those 3 directs are going to lead you to become a double digit recruiting leg. And you should aim to make sure that one person on that group is going to become by themselves a double digit recruiter, meaning a person outside of those 3 people that you recruited, one of them, your goal should be for that person to go and get 10 on their first month. So you can get them off to a fast start. Because if you can get that person to believe that they can go on their first month and deliver 10 new associates onto their team, they're going to be on fire, right? They're going to think that, they're unstoppable. They can do anything. They're able to attract people. They are the best. And that's what we need here. What we need here is for each and every one of us to go get 4. I'm not telling you to go get 100 right now. I'm just telling you to go get 4. Can anybody on this call get 4 by the end of June? Okay, Miss Maya. Anybody else? Viviana, thank you. Martin, thank you. Okay. So I guess Chris was the only person who was thinking if he's going to have 4 people by the end of the month. Right, Chris?
I was trying to find it. I got confused.
Okay, I understand. All right, so you have to understand what are your averages, right? You have to understand what are your averages. Again, it comes down to how you're going to get those 4 people. What are you going to do? What are you going to put into the pipeline, right? Well, how you have to put stuff into the pipeline so you can get those results. The only way you are going to get those 4 people, I promise you, is by getting on Zooms all day, every day. You're going to have those 4 people. You're going to probably have more than 4 people. And, the issue that we are having is volume, but the issue we are having is not really volume. The issue that we are having is people not being focused on the fundamentals, people not being focused on the everyday thing that we have to focus on, meaning scheduling people. So from 8 to 12, you schedule people. From 12 to 2, you meet with those people. From 2 to 4, you train the people that you already have on the team that needs to be worked with. From 4 or 5, 5, from 6 to 10 or 6 to 9, you're in the field training those people, and so on and so forth. That's what we need to do. And we're not going to be able to achieve these things that I just mentioned without putting people into the pipeline. And the only way we can do that, we have to find the people, because what you have to understand, a lot of people are just going to do a little bit, right? So if you have a lot of people, it's going to win out those odds, because if you have 5 people, chances are 4 of them are going to do a little bit. If you have 100 people, 80 of them might do a little bit. And then 20 will do a lot. If you have 1,000 people, 200 of them will do a lot, and then maybe the 800 will do a little bit. So the numbers are going to work in your favor once you work with the law of averages, right? You have to understand what is the law of averages, and you have to apply it to yourself. 20% to 50% of the people that you prospect are going to become new associates. So we need to get fanatical about prospecting. Coach was mentioning it to me the other day. So I'm going to work on prospecting, because one thing about me is I can even prospect you, but because I'm not, wired in the sense of prospecting people over the last year, I haven't really done a lot of prospecting, and then it becomes very difficult for me sometimes to just start getting numbers from people. Then when I start getting the numbers, I really go after it. But before I get myself to be like, okay, you need to go prospect, it becomes difficult for me. And I assure you, there's a lot of people on this call who have the same issue. And the reason why we don't want to prospect is because we don't want to get rejected. Am I right? I'm wrong. The reason that most of us don't prospect is because we don't want to get rejected. But rejection is part of the game, because I promise you, if Steve Jobs did not keep on going after it and asking for people to believe in his company and invest in it, the iPhone is not going to be here. The MacBook wasn't going to be here right now. The iPad is not going to be here, the Apple Pen, and so on and so forth. He had to go through those, no's in order for him to get the yeses that he needed to move forward. The same thing with, Bill Gates, the same thing with every single person out there who wants to be successful at something. Same thing with Art Williams. I promise you, the number of no's that Art Williams got when he started Primerica, you and I cannot even phantom them, because that was a company that nobody knew about this company. This company was not publicly listed on the New York Stock Exchange. This company was not nowhere. Nobody knew about it. If a one man from Georgia is able to go out there and say, hey, follow me on this trend here, I'm doing this and that and that and that, and is able to attract people into a company that's not even publicly traded, that's not even known, that's going to go and fight giants in the industry that they were, that we are in back in the day, when there was no technology, there was no, POL, there was no social media, there was nothing that showed that, okay, this is our company, this is the track record, this is what we have, this is what we've been doing, and we are working on this and that, and this person is still able to attract people. What we have to understand there is what? People do not follow the company. People do not join a company. The people join you. If you are a person who is able to show someone that this is what's going on, this is what I'm going to deliver for you, we have to become, I think what we missing in this team is attraction. Are we attractive enough that people want to follow us? And Mr. Bo, I don't mean by, attraction as in what you do, you know what I'm saying? I mean, attraction in the business. Are we doing what we need to do enough so people want to follow us? So people will come on the Zoom and be like, hey, this is my person I was looking my whole life to meet. I used to talk to people, that will tell me, okay, I never heard of this company. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to quit my job today. Are you having that kind of reaction? Are you having that kind of impact when you talk to people about what you're about to do? When you talk to people about where you're going, when you talk to people where you are, when you talk to people about your vision of 2024, when you talk to people about your vision of 2025, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, are you able to take people with you on that dream? Because the reason why people will join is if they can see that you can deliver something that they cannot achieve for themselves. And the only way to do that is through attraction. And I don't mean attraction as in, you look beautiful. Someone is going to be attracted to your face. Are people attracted to your intellect? Are people attracted to who you are as a person? Are people attracted to the messages that you're delivering? That's what's going to get us to the next level. That's what's going to get us to get to the people that we need to get in order to become what? Having the volume, in order to become a competitive team again, in order to become a team that's going to deliver what we need to deliver for us to get to the next level. So those are the few things that I want us to really focus on as we pivot through June to get to July, because, in 2023, 6 months is already almost gone by. So, I mean, what other excuses do we have? We have no excuse to execute what we need to execute. We already have all the tools, coach talks about them all the time, so I'm not even going to go over it. We already have the Zooms, we already have the things that we are working on. We already have, the company behind us. All you have to do is to make sure you open your mouth and talk to enough people, and you tell them about the opportunity, you tell them about the concept, you tell them about where we are going. You tell them about our goal to have 1,000 people licensed in the next 6 months, 1,000 people licensed in the next 3 months. I don't know what coach goal is for licensing in the next few months, but for me, I would say we should get at least 1,000 people licensed over the next 6 months moving forward in 2023. And if all of you guys here on this call are able to buy into that vision, meaning every single one of us can be responsible. Okay, I'm going to be responsible to making sure I have 100 licensed people. And necessarily, you don't even have to get people licensed. There are ways you can get people in the industry who are already licensed. There are ways you can get people in the industry who know what they need to do. You get people who will get licensed in 2 days, but the only way you can do that is by attracting people. And you are not going to, I promise you, if the mindset of yesterday is the mindset of today for you, you're not growing. And if a person is not growing, you're not going to attract anybody. You have to change your way of thinking. And the only way you can change your way of thinking is by reading books, getting more knowledge, understanding, going through concepts, making sure you categorize them, making sure you get, a full explanation. Like if you were to have a dictionary and then you open up the dictionary and you want to read about a word, I'm sure you're not going to say, oh, what word am I going to say? Let's say murderer. Murderer means killer. And then you're done. No, you're going to go through that dictionary and then you're going to read the whole full paragraph about murderer. What is a murderer? What does it mean? And the explanation, and then the synonyms and whatever it is that in there, so you understand exactly what is the meaning of the word. So the same way it comes when it comes to learning, the same way it comes, the same way it goes when it comes to learning, the same way it goes when it comes to improving yourself, getting better, gaining more knowledge. You're not just going to sit here and then go on TikTok and say how to become a financial expert. And then you have a 30-second video that tells you how to become a financial expert. And then you think that you're improving. No, you have to get yourself into reading books. So if a book is 300 pages or 400 pages, get that book, divide that book. You might be a fast reader. Maybe you are done with it in a week. You might not be a fast reader. Maybe it will take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Whatever it is, a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. So you reading a book of 400 pages in a month is better than you not reading anything. You reading 2 books of, 500 pages in a month is better than you not reading anything. So we really need to get ourselves to a position where we literally are growing in our mind. We're not just growing in age. Of course, my birthday just passed. I don't even want to think about how old I am right now. Okay, so that's not what I mean by growing. I want to say that growing, personally, mentally, becoming a better person, having, a better relationship with the people that you have in your life, might be your family members, might be your spouse, might be your friends, might be your teammate. Maybe you don't have a good relationship with your team. That's the reason why you call them and they don't pick up. Maybe you don't have a good relationship with your family members. That's the reason why your alarm is going to ring in the house and everybody hears it and nobody goes and say, wake up, your alarm is, whatever. You don't have those people. So you have to make sure that you change that, because if you change what you need to change, you're going to see different things and you're going to see different results in your life. So those are the things that I want us to focus on. First of all, we have to grow as people, right? The law of averages is going to work the same way when it comes to reading, when it comes to your mentality. The number of books that you're going to read is going to make the person that you're going to be 6 months from now, because you're going to get better. If you read one book versus if you read 20 books, the difference is going to be there. So we have to sacrifice a lot. Some of us, spend our time on TikTok, Instagram, and all these places when we are on the train going home, or maybe when we are, if you're driving or whatever it is that you do, you're listening to things. No, instead of doing that, why don't you listen to something that's going to be useful to you? Why don't you listen to something that's going to make you grow? Even if it's 1% growth, it's better than nothing. Why don't you listen to a book? Why don't you read a book? Why don't you, get on a podcast of something that's important to you? Maybe there's a concept that we discussed that you don't understand. Why don't you go learn more about it? Why don't you go watch a video about it so you can understand it better, so you can explain it to your team? So when you speak to your team, they gain in value. They're not just listening to someone like a broken record, because I promise you, if you're speaking every day on the same thing and your team is always listening to you saying the same thing, at a certain point, you're going to become boring. And once you become boring, people are not really going to listen to you. People will listen to you if you're adding value to them. So we have to make sure we work on that. We work on getting better as a team, meaning learning, not only learning, and then we get better, mentally by reading books. And then outside of that, we understand what are our numbers so we can attract people. So when you open your mouth, when you're coming to this office and say, hey, how are you? How are you doing today? You look sharp. You look familiar. Did you work at this place? Did you go to school at this place? Oh, no. Oh, wow. Whatever. Your shoes look nice. Do you know where TJ Maxx is? Oh, it's this way, that way. Oh, by the way, I recently moved into the area and I'm expanding an office right now. We're looking for sharp people. You look like a sharp person. Would you be interested in speaking to me later on a Zoom, to discuss further? If the person says yes, put them on your Zoom, but you're speaking with confidence. You're speaking with, you're showing that you're already exuding confidence. This person will be intrigued. They'll be like, oh, wow, this woman looks all put together. Let me hear what she has to say. They will be eager to be speaking to you later on. But if you're not dressed sharp, not looking sharp, you're looking dull, and you go, hey, do you know where TJ Maxx is? Do you want to get on a Zoom because my office is expanding? Sorry, no, I'm not interested. You're going to get a lot of those if you don't have confidence. Confidence is everything. And I don't get confidence by being cocky. That's not what I mean. Confidence in what it is that you're talking about, confidence in bringing people into your business, confidence in training your people, confidence in knowing that you're bringing them into something that's going to get them successful, confidence that you're going to change their life, confidence that you can make things happen for them. Because if we use the law of averages and then we are talking to all these people, and then you are like a machine. Every time you're talking to people, everyone you meet, everywhere you go, every, cashier you talk to, everywhere you buy food, every time you get on the train, the people on that card are going to know who you are. I promise you the law of averages is going to work for you, because instead of talking to 10 people a day, you're going to start talking to 20. Instead of talking to 5 people a day, you're going to start talking to 10. Instead of talking to 20, maybe you will start talking to 40, who knows? And then you're going to be on social media, you're going to be talking to more people. People are going to come to you, and those people that you talk to will bring more people to you. Because usually when I prospect, I even have people tell me, hey, I know that you told me that, you want to talk to me about the opportunity, but I have a friend who's currently looking. Can I give them your number? I have an aunt that's already, currently lost her job. Can I give her your number? I have a friend who's currently looking. I have a friend who just graduated. I promise you, these people are going to start looking for you, and you will not even need to look for them. All you have to do is to get the ball going. You have to take that, if you're playing soccer, the ball is going to be there until you hit that ball. That ball is not going to move by itself. It's the same way when it comes to these numbers. You are not going to get the law of averages if you don't put people in the pipeline. And people, I mean, talk to people, because when you talk to people, you're going to have what you need. When you talk to people, you are going to have the people that you need in order for you to move forward. You're going to have a team, you're going to have licensed people. And on those licensed people, you're going to have producers, and those producers, you're going to have VPs. And the VPs that you're going to have excellent VPs, because the more people you promote to vice president, the more successful VPs you're going to have. And it all starts with you. And that was all I had for you guys today. If anyone has any question or concern, or what is the book that I discussed today is a book by our founder, Art Williams. Okay, so The Secret to Building a Super Hierarchy is already in the script and tools if anybody wants to go read it. I suggest you do. It's a very short book, and then it has so many concepts of the things that we go through and what we have to work on every single day. So and then Coach is going to share the video on YouTube as well. I'm not sure what he wrote. All right. All right, so please, guys, if you watch this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next video.